How's it going everyone, my name is BAYZY and welcome to another video. I've put hundreds upon hundreds of hours into Breakpoint so far, so I thought it would be worth me making a video based on what my thoughts are on how Breakpoint has improved over the last year and whether it is worth buying at its current point. Of course, we have recently had world parameters added to the game and a bunch more little features which have definitely improved the game, and we have also had the AI teammates that came in July, which made it a little bit more enjoyable for the player base. So within this kind of review, I'm going to be talking about the gameplay, the open world aspects and the campaign and what my general thoughts are on them. For my first full run through of the game, I set it on regular mode because that's all that there was at the time. So you had gear score on, you had drones flying about, all that kind of stuff in the game, in which quite a lot of the community didn't really like, and that caused problems for Ubisoft earlier on in Breakpoint's life because they weren't making enough money on the game because people weren't buying it. People weren't liking the fact that Ubisoft had made a game, a Ghost Recon game, that had drones and futuristic tech, which, to be fair, Future Soldier has futuristic tech, but it isn't displayed how it is within Breakpoint. So that lack of realism really impacted Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and it didn't impact it in a good way. So what they have done to combat that is to add the Ghost experience, and they added the immersive mode within this, which got rid of gear score, got rid of quite a few features in which the community just weren't liking, and made it a more gritty, realistic experience, and that was later improved in Title Update 3.0.3, where we got the Darkest Night feature. We got the ability to take off the drones, take off the Azrael drones, and also limit the amount of helicopters that are flying about. So all these little features have improved the game if you set it to immersive mode. Now of course you do have the ability to choose regular mode and keep all them things on, but that is really down to the player's experience, and I'm really glad them features within the world parameters page are toggleable. And of course within the Ghost experience page, being able to choose different difficulties, being able to choose whether gear level is on or off, which leads me on to my second run through of the game, where I set it on immersive mode and run through the campaign through a live stream and just generally went around Auroa experiencing different things that you could do throughout the world of Breakpoint. My general thoughts on the campaign was that it was alright, it was quite good. It got a little bit boring now and then. They maybe should have went in a little bit more detail here and there in regards to how maybe Walker got to the point where he is at, instead of leaving us in the dark for quite a few different things throughout the campaign. I love the intro of the game. You had Nomad and his squad of ghosts all taken down while they were in the helicopters, leaving Nomad and a few others stranded in a drone and terrorist infested island where survival is key. I feel like Operation Greenstone had quite a lot of potential. I mean, comparing that to Wildlands, the Wildlands campaign was amazing. I really enjoyed that, the fact you had to go around to different lieutenants and all that kind of stuff. I wish that was within Breakpoint, and obviously they added that within Red Patriot, which I quite enjoyed, to be honest. But overall, Operation Greenstone wasn't too bad, but it wasn't amazing. And Deep State and Red Patriot, which are DLCs which you have to pay for, they are quite good. I really enjoyed them. I'll be making a video based on whether it's worth buying the Year 1 Pass very soon, so do subscribe and keep an eye out for that. Those two DLCs were jam-packed of content, and so was the live events, the two live events that's happened so far. We're also going to be getting a third one within February or January in 2021. But what I'm really saying is them two DLCs and them two live events that have happened made the game worth playing post Operation Greenstone. Why the whole of the story wasn't just within the first episode, and why they didn't go down different story routes on episode 2 and 3, I'm really unsure. I would love to know what Transcendence was supposed to be, because that got replaced with Red Patriot in episode 3. But anyways, let's move on to the next topic, in which is gameplay. One of the most improved parts about Breakpoint is the gameplay. From the smooth movement and animations that look quite clean, except the odd few, I feel like the gameplay is quite good within Breakpoint when you are comparing it to Wildlands. I usually play on Extreme, and I appreciate the survival aspects of that are built into the game. And having the Darkest Night mode, which was recently added, I feel like that has really impacted the game quite well. Having to focus more on sound than visually trying to track your targets I feel like that adds a little bit more immersion, while that's also combining with the fact that you need to drink water, you need to bandage your wounds, you need to use syringes to survive within the world of Auroa. And that's really what Breakpoint is supposed to aim for. It's supposed to be a survival tactical shooter. While it sometimes doesn't feel like a tactical shooter at times, it does really well in that survival aspect, I find. And in July they added the AI teammates as well, which was an amazing feature in Wildlands. The way they allow you to sync shot and the 4 different commands that are within the game. While I would like some more commands added to the AI teammates to make it more like SOCOM, I think the AI work quite well within the game, because beforehand it felt a little bit lonely and a bit dull, I guess. Of course, there are still some issues with the AI teammates. Like sometimes they don't defend you, sometimes they go off in the random direction and kind of leave you to fight for yourself. Sometimes they can be a little bit dumb when it comes to stealth as well. So there are definitely negatives to the AI teammates and the fact that they're within the game. But if you use them strategically, they can be your best ally within the game. So I think AI teammates is one of those things which Ubisoft Paris need to really work on, whether it be for the next game or whether it be for Breakpoint and improving Breakpoint past February 2021, which hopefully there will be a year 2 for. So my last point is the world of Auroa. Now this is very different to how Bolivia felt within Wildlands. There isn't anyone walking around, like you won't see a random vehicle going by unless it is the Sentinel that's going by, which I feel is really a shame because I quite liked the fact that Wildlands felt like an open world which was live and was active. There was always something going on within Wildlands, while with Breakpoint it's just an abandoned island with a few little buildings here and there which has a few people in, but it doesn't feel alive. While on the other hand you also do have the resistance that are toggleable within the world parameters page, which was of course part of Live Event 2, so I'm really glad that they brought them back. The resistance definitely makes the world a little bit more alive than what it used to be, but if you've got these turned off then I guess it's a little bit dull and a bit boring, the fact that there's no one travelling around the world and you are back to this martial law lone survivor experience, which I guess I enjoy to an extent. But I still want the world to feel a little bit more alive, and hopefully in the next Ghost Recon, which I'm hoping to be in the Middle East, hopefully they'll add more civilians driving around. Or maybe next Ghost Recon might not be an open world, it might be some kind of linear game, which I haven't seen a linear game from Ubisoft in a while, to be honest. So my final thoughts and my final judgment on whether it's worth buying Breakpoint at this point is that it is worth buying. I feel like this feels like a full-fledged game. Maybe there's a few improvements here and there which can be made, as I've suggested quite a few different additions and changes within this video. But generally, if it's on sale for, let's say, $20-30, I think that's probably what Breakpoint is worth buying for. Others might disagree with me. Do tell me down in the comment section, what do you think it's worth? Do you agree with the things which I've kind of suggested within this video? But that is really all for this video. Do hit the subscribe button if you aren't already, and hit that like button, it is greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next video.